This is ShadowQuant, Week Ahead, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Saturday, May 2, 2026, and this is the New York session. Now, let's get into it. Welcome to ShadowQuant's Week Ahead. The Fed's FOMC decision looms, and it could either stabilize or destabilize the markets. Let's check the scorecards. I called for a 25 basis point rate cut, missed. The Fed held, and the 10-year, 2-year curve widened. I'll take the partial.
I predicted SPY to hold above 718, correct? But I missed the 1.5% weekly gain in QQQ. I'll take the win.
I said the VIX would stay below 17, correct? But I didn't flag the crypto outflows. Partial.
My call on the macro narrative was correct. The Fed is hawkish, but markets are pricing in a pause. I'll take the partial.
Macro landscape, pulse the big picture.
The Fed meets Wednesday at 19:00 Eastern to decide on the rate. The economy is still growing at 2% year-over-year, and inflation is at 3.29% year-over-year, above the 2% target. The market is pricing in a 60% chance of a 25 basis point cut. The 10-year, 2-year yield curve is at plus 0.51 pp, still healthy. The FOMC's dot plot will be critical. If the Fed signals a pause, the market will rally. If it signals more hikes, the equity and bond markets will sell off. The BOE meets on Thursday, but the Fed is the main event this week.
Equities, grid, earnings, and indices.
The week is packed with earnings, and the key ones are the big tech names. Microsoft reports Tuesday before the open, with a consensus earnings per share of $2.99. The stock is up 23% year-to-date, and the price is at a 52-week high. The key metric to watch is cloud revenue. If that's up 30% year-over-year, the market will be happy. Apple reports Thursday, consensus is $1.79. But the stock is down 10% from its 52-week high. The key is iPhone sales and services revenue. Amazon is also reporting Thursday, with a consensus of $0.96. The stock is flat on the week, but the key is AWS growth. Beyond the big names, the rest of the earnings calendar is mixed. The S&P 500 is up 1.5% for the week, with the tech sector leading. The QQQ is up 1.55%, with the energy sector up 4.69%. The biggest gainer is the energy sector, up 4.69%. That's the energy sector. The key levels to watch. SPY is at 720.65, with support at 718 and resistance at 725. The QQQ is at 674.15, with support at 669 and resistance at 676. The Diamonds is at 495.2, with support at 490 and resistance at 499. The IWM is at 279.28, with support at 276 and resistance at 280.
The earnings calendar is important, but the bigger picture is the Fed. If the Fed signals a pause, the market will rally. If it signals more hikes, the market will sell off. The key is how the Fed responds to the 3.29% CPI and 1.99% GDP growth.
The VIX is at 16.99 normal, but the market is still pricing in a 60% chance of a 25 basis point cut. If the Fed surprises and cuts, the VIX could spike. If it holds, the VIX could drop.
Currencies and commodities, SPECTER.
The dollar is under pressure. The DXY is at 101.68, down 0.1% for the week. The key pairs, euro-dollar is at 1.1721, with support at 1.1655 and resistance at 1.1785. The Fed's decision will be the big driver. If the Fed cuts, the dollar will fall. If it holds, the dollar will rise. The yen is under pressure. The dollar-yen is at 157.7, with support at 155.5 and resistance at 160.73. The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are strongly bearish on the yen, net 75,802 contracts. The pound is also under pressure. Cable is at 1.3577, with support at 1.3454 and resistance at 1.3658. The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are strongly bullish on the pound, net plus 28,882 contracts. The Swiss franc is also under pressure. The dollar Swiss is at 0.7818, with support at 0.778 and resistance at 0.7925. The CFTC data shows that leveraged funds are strongly bearish on the Swiss franc, net 5,174 contracts. Gold is down 0.28% for the week, at 4,613.77, support at 4,510, and resistance at 4,730. The key is the Fed's rate decision. If it cuts, gold will rally. If it holds, gold will fall. The key geopolitical risk is the Middle East. The Iran situation is still volatile. The U.S. has said that hostilities with Iran are over, but Trump is still threatening tariffs on European cars and trucks. That's a major risk for the euro and pound.
The crypto markets are under pressure, but there's some support. Bitcoin is at 47,000, down 2% for the week. The Fear and Greed Index is at 40, neutral. Ethereum is at 3,100, down 3%. The key is the Fed's decision. If it cuts, crypto will rally. If it holds, crypto will fall. The biggest altcoin is Solana, up 5% this week. But the key is the Fear and Greed Index. If it falls below 30, the market will panic.
Digital assets, CIPHER.
The crypto markets are under pressure, but there's some support. Bitcoin is at 47,000, down 2% for the week. The Fear and Greed Index is at 40, neutral. Ethereum is at 3,100, down 3%. The key is the Fed's decision. If it cuts, crypto will rally. If it holds, crypto will fall. The biggest altcoin is Solana, up 5% this week. But the key is the Fear and Greed Index. If it falls below 30, the market will panic. The on-chain data shows that stablecoin flows are down, but decentralized finance TVL is up 2%. That's a sign of recovery. The regulatory environment is still uncertain. The U.S. Senate is considering a CBDC ban, and the SEC is still moving forward on crypto ETFs. The key catalyst is the Fed's decision. If it cuts, the market will rally. If it holds, the market will fall.
Let's bring it together. Apex cross-market themes.
The key themes this week are the Fed's decision, the dollar's strength, and the crypto market's resilience. The Fed is the main event. If it cuts, the dollar will fall and the markets will rally. If it holds, the dollar will rise and the markets will sell off. The dollar is under pressure. Euro dollar is at 1.1721 and dollar yen is at 157.7. The crypto markets are under pressure, but there's some support. Bitcoin is at 47,000 and the Fear and Greed Index is at 40, neutral. The key is the Fed's decision. If it cuts, the market will rally. If it holds, the market will fall. The key is the dollar's strength. If it falls, the markets will rally. If it holds, the markets will sell off.
I agree, the Fed is the main event. The key is the dot plot. If the Fed signals a pause, the market will rally. If it signals more hikes, the market will sell off.
I disagree. The earnings calendar is also important. Microsoft and Apple are big names and their results will drive the market. If they beat, the market will rally. If they miss, the market will sell off.
I disagree. The dollar is also a key factor. If the Fed signals a pause, the dollar will fall and the market will rally. If it holds, the dollar will rise and the market will sell off. The key is the dollar's strength. If it falls, the market will rally. If it holds, the market will sell off.
I agree, the crypto markets are also important. If the Fed cuts, the market will rally. If it holds, the market will fall. The key is the Fed's decision. If it cuts, the market will rally. If it holds, the market will fall.
Calls on the record, one each.
I'm bullish on the Fed's decision. The market is pricing in a 25 basis point cut. My call. Fed fund rate, bullish, target 3.64 by Friday.
I'm bullish on the equity markets. The earnings calendar is strong and the Fed is signaling a pause. My call, SPY, bullish, target 725 by Friday.
I'm bullish on the crypto markets. The fear and greed index is at 40, and the Fed is signaling a pause. My call, Bitcoin, bullish, target 47,000 by Friday.
I'm bearish on the dollar. The Fed is signaling a pause and the dollar is under pressure. My call, dollar-yen bearish, target 155 by Friday.
I'm bullish on the cross-market themes. The Fed is the main event and the dollar is under pressure. My call, SPY bullish, target 725 by Friday.
If you're finding value in this analysis, support the project at patreon.com/ShadowQuant. Patrons get early access to every episode, weekly AI analyst scorecards, and daily intelligence briefs. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, hit that follow button and leave a rating. It helps more traders discover the show. We appreciate you. This content is generated by artificial intelligence and is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Markets carry significant risk of loss. Always do your own research before making any investment or trading decisions. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant. Stay tuned for the after-hours session where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.